If it is by way of a ESOPS issued to an employee or a director of an Indian officer or a branch of a foreign company or of a subsidiary in India of a foreign company or of an Indian company, irrespective of the percentage of the direct or indirect equity stake in Indian companies, you can hold it. Investment in a foreign stock by an Indian individual can be held in the following manners. As an inheritance from a person whether residing in India or outside India. Say for example, your uncle or your father was working abroad and he holds the shares of the foreign company, and now you are receiving that shares by an inheritance, you can hold it. There is no restrictions on that. By purchase of a foreign securities or out of funds held in the foreign currency accounts maintained according as per the FEMA rules, by way of a bonds or right shares on the foreign securities already held by them. Resident individuals are allowed under general permission to acquire shares of a foreign entity in a part or full consideration of professional services rendered to the foreign company or in lieu of director's remuneration. This is very important. Say as a freelancer or as an individual, you are working for a foreign company and there is a remittance is going to come and you do not want to bring it to India. You can ask the company, can I have a shares of your company? Or says, okay, I have an account in foreign countries, I want to buy some stocks of Microsoft on New York Stock Exchange. You can do that. As a resident, individuals may acquire foreign securities by way of right shares issued by a company incorporated outside India, provided the existing shares were held in accordance with the provision of FEMA. Resident corporations and partnership firms registered under the Indian Partnership Act may undertake agriculture operations, including purchase of land incidental to such activity either directly or through their overseas offices, provided the Indian party is otherwise eligible to invest and such investment is within the overall specified limits, and for the purpose of such investment by acquisition of land overseas, the valuation of the land is verified by the certified value registered with the appropriate valuation authority in the host country. This is very important. I receive many clients and many inquiries in this particular area that we are a partnership firms, because as we know that in India, unless you are a registered farmers, you cannot own an agricultural land. But there are many people say if we cannot hold an agricultural land in India, can we do it in other countries? And that's their answer here, that you can own any amount of land in most of the country in the world. And you can make an investment and do a business in agriculture industry. So this was the in general gist about the RBI regulations. I know some of you find very technical, but that's what the rule is about, because it's a restrictions. It's not that I have $100 million to make an investment and I want to go ahead and make an investment. We have to first follow the RBI rules, what is allowed to make an investment. Once we have looked into that one, then as an Indian company or an entity, what we can do outside India. We are not talking about a simple import-export, but having our presence there. So obviously the first answer would be, I want to open a branch office. Or open or incorporate a new company and I want to start a new business. So that is also possible now. I don't want to start a new business. I'm already a travel agent and I want to start my office in New York. I'm going to acquire an existing travel agent's company in New York and become a travel agent in New York. So that's your second answer. Third one. Purchase or acquire an existing business, 100% wholly owned subsidiaries. Or it could be part. Or it could be JV or a joint venture, partnership with the local business. This is very important. Like you might have seen foreign companies coming into India and they are doing joint ventures with the local companies. Because you know the local company knows the local market. They already have the established network for the distribution of your product or service. So they know the local market and that's why the joint venture is possible. Similarly, as an Indian company, now you can do a joint venture as well. It could be in the Gulf, it could be in North America, it could be in the European countries. It could be in Australia, anywhere in the world where it is legally allowed. So these are the 4 ones. I'm going to look at it in more details, give you an idea what it involves, right? When you open up a branch office, what it is required, say for example, you are selling some product and now you want to do a marketing in a particular country and you know that local partners, you cannot find it or they are not trustworthy, or probably you want to have your own presence and you feel more comfortable with that one. So generally it requires incorporate an Indian company as a foreign company. Obviously you will be required to buy and rent office premises or virtual office to receive communications. Open a bank account because you're going to do all your transactions through the bank. Obtain necessary business operation or license. Depending on your product or services what you have, in every country obviously you have to go through the regulations and find out that what license I require to operate my business. You'll be required to hire a local staff to run and manage business operation. Generally, when you have a branch offices, there is no transfer of employees from India to abroad, but you are hiring a local people there and they are taking care of it. When you open as a branch office, one of the biggest benefit is the tax benefit, because as it is considered as a branch office, all the expenses or most of the expenses incurred by a foreign branch office can be offset in your Indian tax return. So that's the benefit of the branch office. Yes. See, virtual office, yeah, it's a new concept here. Virtual offices, there are many companies in the world where they say that you can use our address, office address, you can receive your mail, you can receive your communication, but no physical presence of the office is there. So for example, if you go to the Vijay Charasta, and opposite Memnagar stations, you might have heard the company name Regus, R-E-G-U-S, Regus. So that's the first company of international level who has come into Ahmedabad, and they are opening a virtual office. So probably you pay their fees of yearly probably 8 to 10,000 rupees, I don't know. You do not have a premises physical office 10 by 10 or 20 by 20, but in your business card you can write down.
So is it something like a business center?
It is a business center, but you do not have a physical office there, but you are just using an address. And probably you will use their facilities or a conference room to meet your client as and when it is required. So generally it's been used by professionals, freelancers or self-employed people when they want to meet or treat their clients in the business premises. So they call it a virtual office. So the physical presence of the office is not there all the time. Right? Did you get it? Open or incorporate a new company and start a new business. So for example, now if you want to start a business outside India, you're looking at the new incorporation of the company and you want to start a new business. Because many people realize that, okay, if I buy an existing company, I might have to pay goodwills, I have to pay so much money, but I can start something on my own based on or related to my business in India. That's possible, you can do that. So obviously it requires that you incorporate a company, buy or rent an office premises, because when you want to start a business, real business, most of the countries in the world would not like that you are having a virtual office. They want to have a physical presence there. Open a bank account, obtain a necessary business operations license, hire local staff to run and manage an operation. No tax benefit as such. Expenses of the foreign operation cannot be claimed in Indian tax return. But more important is the next, but this first slide was more than a technical, the process to follow to have your presence in a foreign country. But generally when you establish a new